Oh.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm used to say good morning, but good afternoon, boys and girls from all over the world. I can see I am coming back again. I think some of you who would have been in the first, some of the Adventurer Awards we did at the beginning, I presented one of them. And so if you remember me, my name is Mthoko. I shall share my screen at the moment.
Okay, Auntie, remember to optimize.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, there I am. If I'm not in my uniform, that's how I look like, boys and girls. And I am from Scotland. I am one of the sponsors from the Scottish Mission. And so today we are presenting.
Do you want to tell us you're one of the sponsors and who's the other one?
And the other sponsor, you know, he's singing the trumpet for himself. That's Pastor Njabula Ndlovu.
Well, I was hoping you'd say your husband, but that's obviously not going to work. So you continue, Auntie.
Oh, thank you. And so this is what I am presenting today. I'm hoping to share with you temperance. And we will learn today two Bible verses that are very, very important and also relevant for this award. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. And we will also look at 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 17. We will learn what is meant by drug abuse. We will learn what is meant by temperance. For some, it may be a very big word, but for some, they may already know what temperance means. We will also learn the harm of using tobacco, of drinking alcohol, and of using many other drugs. We will also look at why some people choose to smoke, why do some people choose to drink alcohol and also use other drugs. How can you choose not to use these substances yourself? And we know that these substances have a bad influence on our bodies. They destroy our bodies. And we will have an opportunity in this room today. We have a doctor. A doctor is in the room and you will have an opportunity to ask your questions. So as we go along with this award, please put down your question, write your question on the side. And so when the doctor comes into the room, you can then ask your question. We might not have time to go through every question, but we will try and pick a few questions that the doctor will be able to answer. And I hope that you will enjoy these 45 minutes that we discuss and share this message right from the Lord himself. And so your pen and papers, boys and girls, or just before that, actually, I need to show you what the Temperance Award looks like. Can you see it right on the top right-hand corner? That's the award that you will receive when you complete this, okay? So I would like you to take out your papers and your pens and you can write down which one is the correct answer. You don't need to write the whole sentence, but just write A or B or C, or if you say all of them, you know. So what is temperance? For those who might know already, I'm sure Facebook is watching. You can put down your choices. And if you think that is all of those, just write all of those. And so A, temperance is self-control, which could in other ways mean not eating too much. Is it moderation, meaning moderating anything that you do, including watching TV, watching less of TV? Is it self-restraint, where you want to say a bad word, but you hold yourself back and you don't say any bad words to anyone? Is it managing to sleep on time, realizing that your body needs some rest? Is temperance not spending too much money? You know, when you're given your pocket money and you decide, no, I don't need to spend all of it. Is it getting to school on time? You know, when you start school at 9 o'clock or 9:45, whatever time you start school, is it getting to school on time? Is that being temperate? Is it looking after your body? What is temperance? Or is temperance making good choices in everything we do? Let us see your answers. Pastor NJ and Pastor Dan will be able to share with me what are the answers they are getting.
Okay, so we are going to look at the answers on Facebook. Let's start there. I think that would be good to make us start there.
Okay, Pastor Angel and Togo, thank you so much for this for choice of this beautiful award. Here the answers from the Facebook, of course, amazing crowd. Once again, people are saying it is all of these, and we have 3 answers at the moment on, and we are all studying together. They're saying it's all of these.
Okay, it looks like we have quite a number who have responded with all of them here as well. So we are back to you, Auntie.
Yes, I do agree with you. Temperance, it is all of those. So when you can afford to, restrain yourself, you control yourself, you are having discipline, that is temperance. It is not just in one area, but it is in all these areas, including what we think, what we say, what we eat, what we watch, and being able to control yourself. Okay, now let us go to drugs. What is meant by drugs or a drug? What do you think? Is it A, medicines used to treat or prevent disease? Is it B, substances that make you feel better when you are in pain? Is it C, substances that give you a lot of energy? Is it D, chemicals that are taken for pleasure? Or is it E, substances that takes control of your mind? Is it F, chemicals that change the way the body works? What is a drug? I would like to know from you, boys and girls, because we want to share today. I have the information, but you also have information that you have been taught by your mom, by your grandparents, at school, and from church as well. What have you learned? What is a drug? And for those who don't know, you will get to know what a drug is today. Tell me your answers. I would like to know.
Oh, Auntie, we'll start with those of us in Zoom here. And we are getting, well, we first had A, F, E. F is quite popular as well as A. But then we also have all of them as well. So let's hear from those who are on Facebook. What do you have?
All right, quite a few answers came through. Thank you so much all for participation. We love to hear your answers. We have people who are saying all of these. We have people who are saying A and E. And also quite a few messages still coming through, so wishing everybody a happy Sabbath. So thank you guys.
Yes, and a drug is all of those. There are good drugs and there are bad drugs. So there are some drugs that when you go to the doctor, they give you a prescription, a little piece of paper, and they say, go to the chemist and get these. Those are called pharmaceutical drugs, which will relieve pain and make you feel a bit better. When you have an infection and you take your penicillin or amoxicillin, which are antibiotics, they are drugs that make you feel better. But there are also drugs that are not allowed, that do not make you feel better. They might give you a lot of energy, but they destroy your body. Okay? So, true or false? I would like to know if you know, do some drugs make you feel better, but others cause harm to your body? Is alcohol a drug? Can you be sent to prison for keeping drugs that are not allowed? Can good drugs become harmful when taken incorrectly? So can you go to the doctors and you get your paracetamol or your ibuprofen, or you buy it from the chemist? And so can you take more of those, and can that be harmful to you? But it's a good drug. It makes you feel better. It relieves the pain. But if you take too much of it, can it destroy your body? What is true in those answers? And if it is all of them as well, do say all of those make sense. All of those are true. If you said all of those are true, that is the correct answer. So drugs are substances that are good for you when you're given by the doctor, but for those that are not allowed, they are bad for you. But the good ones as well can be bad for your body if you don't take them correctly. And there are some people who have realized when they take too much of the good drugs, it makes them feel in a certain way, and they like that feeling, and they are taking those drugs incorrectly, and that is not good. Now, let us look at a list of some of these things that I have put there on the slide. Which ones do you think are drugs? Is it all of them? Is it tobacco a drug? Is sugar a drug? Is chocolate a drug? Is alcohol or caffeine or coffee or food, paracetamol, cannabis or cocaine? Is it all of those drugs or just some of them? Which ones do you think qualify to be called a drug? Let us look at that. If you say tobacco is a drug, you are correct. Tobacco is a drug because it has certain chemicals and substances that affect the body and make the body in a certain way. Tobacco is a substance that is called nicotine that is not good for your body. How about sugar? Yes, sugar creates a spark in your body and it gives you a lot of energy. And sugar is addictive as well, which means you want more and more and more of it. So sugar does come under drug in the sense that it creates and gives you this energy, and it also gives you a spark, a certain feeling, and it is also addictive, meaning once you eat a lot of sugar, you will want more and more and more and more of it. How about chocolate? Yes, chocolate has also a lot of sugar. It has a substance called caffeine, which is not good for your body. It has also got a substance called theobromine, which is not good for you. So when we look at chocolate, while you may like chocolate, but it has a lot of substances that are not good for you, especially if you eat too much of it. And alcohol is a drink that is a drug. It is made in such a way that it is addictive, which means you want more and more of it. And it is also a depressant, meaning that it will slow you down. And you'll start noticing that you are slowing down a speech. And so all of those are drugs. What is meant by drug abuse? So when you're taking substances or chemicals that have been banned, or when you use medicine or tablets for purposes other than to treat illness, or when you're taking more medicine or tablets than prescribed by the doctor. What do you think? Okay, so I can see a lot of boys and girls putting down their answers. That is good. So drug abuse is all of those. Drug abuse is taking substances that we have mentioned before and they are not allowed. It is also taking too much medicine than the doctor has asked you to take. It is also taking some substances that are not good for your body in order to make you feel good or in order to get a certain feeling. That is drug abuse. Right. So if some drugs are harmful and if they are not allowed, why do some people choose to take these things? Why? What do you think? If they are not allowed and if they are bad for your body, some of them, why do people take them? A, is it they think it's cool? Is it to fit in their group because some people are doing it? Or they're just following their friends? Or they're just scared to say no? They think it makes them forget their problems. So if someone is really in trouble and they're struggling, if they take drugs, does it make them forget? You know, and some people say it makes them feel good. Is it true? They are bored and curious, or they have no self-control. They are not able to say no. All of those are correct. people choose to take drugs because they think it's cool. And some people choose to take drugs because it makes them feel in a certain way, and they think then they forget their problems. But unfortunately, they take drugs, yes, they forget for a little while, but they come back again and they remember everything and they're feeling sad again. So that is not good to do things like that. And so let us watch this video and learn a little bit about being able to make good choices, right? Let us.
Oh, so we've got a video, Auntie. Thank
But
you.
Larry
Boys
is
and
my
girls,
best
get ready
friend.
now.
He's the coolest owl in school.
There are lots of ways to be cool, but doing something dangerous isn't one of them.
Then how can I be cool?
From up here, I see lots of ways. Take a look.
A boy chomps on an apple.
Ooh.
Two girls jump rope.
Oh.
A boy dons a bike helmet.
Cool.
Yep, doing things that are good for you is cool.
But how do I know if something is good for me?
Great question. Let's find out the answer. Meet my friends, Aiden and Kayla. Every day they walk home from school together. One day,
Hey, Aiden, look what I got at the mall. Want some?
A small fan, its handle filled with jelly beans.
Ooh, Uncle Wise, that's candy.
mm-hmm.
Nah, I think I have an apple. But it's so cool. And it spins and lights up. Well,
Aiden glances at his apple, then at the candy.
Which food should Aiden choose? The apple or the candy? Which one is good for him?
Right. Which one do you think you should choose? Which one is good for you, the candy or the apple? Some people will say candy is sweets. So which one do you think he is going to choose?
Wow, we already have guys on Facebook who are already answering. This is excellent because that shows that everybody is listening carefully, boys and girls. Well done. And we have on Facebook already answered. We've got Serun Jogi, and he or she says apple. And we've got Loveness saying apple as well, and Felicia saying apple. And then here on Zoom we have it's almost like everybody is saying apple. Auntie Geraldine and James and Martin and Abigail, all of them, and Samuel, they're saying apple, apple, apple.
Let us see what he chooses. What happened there? Sorry, boys and girls.
Do it.
well,
Aiden glances at his apple, then at the candy.
Which food should Aiden choose? The apple or the candy? Which one is good for him?
I'll just stick with the apple.
Great job, Aiden. Fruit is good for your body. Just because a friend says something is cool doesn't mean it's good for you. It's important to put healthy things in your body, like fruits,
Bananas,
vegetables,
a carrot,
whole grain breads,
a bread loaf,
low-fat cheese, and milk. Eating healthy food gives your body energy.
a cartoon boy glows.
It also helps your brain work better.
His brain appears.
The coolest foods are the ones that help you grow up smart and strong so you can take on the world.
A cartoon globe.
Wow, being healthy is cool.
Right.
Nice,
So
lovely.
eating apple is cool. That is true. There's many ways that you can choose what is good for you. But how can we learn to say no to what is bad? Some of the things that we can do is take time to think, and ask God to help you make the right choice. We can make good friends who will help us to choose wisely, to make good choices. We can ask our parents and trust their advice. We can try to remember what God has said. He has said our body is his temple. Or you can ask yourself, is this harmful? Is this helpful? Or you can even follow the Bible teachings. So all of those things are good to do to try and find out if you can be able to say no to what is bad for you, right? So there we go. The Bible verse that we're going to learn today that helps us to say no to what is bad for us is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. And what does it say? It says, don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and was given to you by God? Yes, boys and girls, the Holy Spirit lives in you. You know, yes, right, you, the Holy Spirit is in you. So when you know that the Holy Spirit is in you, the Holy Spirit is also part of the Godhead, which means God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, means God lives in you. And so you can't put anything bad for you where God is. And remember, God bought you with a high price, so you must honor your God with your body. Okay, Jesus Christ came and died for us, so we cannot destroy our bodies. Okay, let us watch another video that is going to show us how to make good choices and also what is a drug. Okay, let us
take a look.
A young teenage girl.
That's where my parents keep their alcohol. Want to check it out?
Oh, no.
3 boys in a treehouse.
There's still some liquor left inside. To be in the club, everybody has to take a sip.
Yikes.
Hey, look, it's my uncle's cigarettes.
To a young boy.
Uh-oh.
I see some serious things going on. Should we take a closer look?
A hummingbird joins Wendy.
Elisa and Whitney are doing their math homework together.
Hey, what's in all those bottles?
That's where my parents keep their alcohol. Want to check it out?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
I don't want to touch alcohol because it's dangerous.
If it's so bad, why don't my parents have it?
Hey, wait a minute. That's a good question. If alcohol is bad for kids, why do her parents have it?
Some grown-ups choose to drink alcohol. Alcohol is in drinks like wine,
A glass.
wine coolers,
A bottle.
beer,
A can.
liquor, and whiskey.
2 tall bottles.
Alcohol changes the brain's
A
signals.
brain.
That can be extra dangerous for young owls like you, because your brain is still growing. It's important for growing brains to be strong and healthy. The brain is the boss of the body. It helps us grow and learn. The brain also keeps us alive. It sends signals that help the body think, talk, move, even breathe.
Gee, I never thought about my brain that way. It's like a supercomputer that takes care of everything in my body. So what happened to Elisa and Whitney?
Let's find out.
I don't want to mess with alcohol. It's dangerous for kids. Plus, we could get in trouble. Hey, what did you get for number 10?
21?
Me too. And that's the last one.
Finally.
Come on, let's go practice soccer kicks.
Okay.
Whitney grabs a soccer ball. They smile.
Wow. Elisa and Whitney made a great choice. Instead of touching the alcohol, they decided to go outside and get some exercise.
Right. So that's what happens, boys and girls. We can make good choices. We can have friends who give us good advice. We can choose to play soccer. We can choose to play outside and read our books. And now let's look at the dangers of taking harmful substances. I wanted to put these big words on purpose because I want you to know these big words, because some people will use them, will say them. You need to know what they mean. And so when you take harmful substances like drugs, like alcohol, like nicotine and tobacco, you will be addicted. What does addictive mean? It means it makes you want it all the time. And also, some drugs, they are depressants, which means it slows you down. You start speaking slow in speech and your body doesn't keep up with the things you want to do. It is hallucinogenic, What is that big word saying? It means it makes you see and hear things that are not there. Other people can't see them, they can't hear them, but you are seeing them. And also they are narcotic, which means they make you sleep. You know, they may drowse you and then you are not good, you're not playing with your friends. They cause a lot of health problems. You start having heart problems, lung problems, can't walk properly, and you cannot even concentrate in school. Right? And the Lord reminds us, boys and girls, that in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 17, it says, God will destroy anyone who destroys this temple, which is your body. For God's temple is holy and you are that temple. Okay, this is our last video for today. That is going to help us to learn a little bit more about drugs. Let us start it maybe here.
Hello and welcome to It's a Fact. I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Mala, and this is our dog Eddie.
Today we're talking about drug abuse.
Before we start, Nicholas, we need to talk about responsibility.
That's true. If you act responsibly and respect yourself and others, then you'll be polite, kind, and considerate in everything you do.
If you set a good example, you will influence your friends and classmates or peers.
And you'll also find that you have the confidence to express your opinions and will not be persuaded to do what you think is wrong.
By living responsibly, you will have the ability to make the right decision if you are ever exposed to drugs.
Your friend invites you to a party that is on at the same time as a cricket match you're playing in.
Clues before you choose.
All of the cricketers made a commitment to the team. The success of the team depends on all players. A good friend will understand your commitment. You chose to play cricket and then go to the party. You made the right choice. You're in the playground at school and a student pushes you off the swing.
Clues before you choose.
You know that behavior is against school rules. Your dad told you not to fight even if others want you to. Although upset, you realize the other student has a problem and not you. You chose to go to your teacher and explain what happened. You made the right choice. Your mom asks you to go to the market. On the way, you see friends who are smoking and they offer you a cigarette.
Clues before you choose.
You know that smoking is harmful. You remember it was hard for your uncle to quit. Although you want to impress your friends, you know smoking is wrong. You chose to say no thanks and continue with your errand. You made the right choice.
Acting responsibly and making the right choices makes you feel good about yourself.
And so you should. Everyone has the ability to do wonderful things, whether at school, at home, or in their community.
That's true, Marla. But in our next section, Sergeant Williams tells us about harmful substances that will prevent you from being the very best that you can be.
2 of the substances actually lessen your ability to be in control of your actions, but all 3 can be damaging to your body.
Good morning, class. Today we have a very special guest who has come to talk to us about substance abuse. Let's welcome Sergeant Williams of the Royal Barbados Police Force.
Good morning, Sergeant Williams.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Mrs. Burke, for that warm introduction. I have come today to talk to you about 3 harmful substances that you should avoid. I have brought with me a very special piece of chalk called Preston. We will begin by talking about alcohol. Alcohol affects both your brain and body, and because it goes straight into your bloodstream, it can damage every organ and cause diseases.
Excuse me, Sergeant Williams. My friend's father drinks a lot of alcohol, and I cannot understand him when he talks.
Well, that is because alcohol slurs your speech. It also affects your memory, coordination, and judgment. Does anyone know why alcohol is even more harmful to children and teenagers?
Yes, sir. Is it because we are young and still growing?
Yes, exactly. Your bodies are still developing. Remember, you're all below the legal drinking age, so if your friends or anyone else offers you alcohol, please say no thanks and walk away. Tobacco is another damaging substance. I would like one person to tell me if they know someone who smokes.
My dad smokes, but he is now in hospital, and the doctors have told him that the cigarettes are making him ill.
I hope your father gets better soon. Tobacco is harmful to your body. It can cause breathing problems and life-threatening conditions such as heart disease and lung cancer.
But why will my dad smoke when he knows it can make him sick?
The reason people like your father find it difficult to stop smoking is because tobacco contains an addictive substance called nicotine. Once your body becomes dependent on nicotine, it is then very difficult to stop using it.
Excuse me, Sergeant Williams, but why do people start smoking when they know that they may not be able to stop?
Well, some young people think their friends would be impressed, but they're really mistaken, because most people don't want to be around somebody who is smoking. In fact, cigarette smoke contains many poisons.
Sergeant Williams, could I become ill if I'm around cigarette smoke a lot?
Yes, you can become ill from breathing other people's smoke. Smokers not only risk their own health, but also that of their friends and family. I would like now to talk to you about an illegal drug called marijuana. People who use marijuana have a higher risk of getting cancer as its smoke contains more cancer-causing chemicals than tobacco. Marijuana can be addictive and can lead to a loss of both concentration and short-term memory. Why do you think you should never get into a car with a driver who is intoxicated or has been smoking marijuana?
Sir, is it because the driver may crash their car?
Yes, that's right. The driver's coordination, reflexes, reaction time, and ability to judge speed and distances will be affected, and you could be putting yourself in danger. I would like to thank Mrs. Burke and all of you for having me here today, and I would like you to remember that using alcohol, tobacco, or marijuana will prevent you from becoming the very best that you can be. You are
That is it, boys and girls. So what are some of the things that we can do instead of smoking, instead of drinking, instead of doing all those drugs? So look at that to keep healthy and to look after these bodies that God has given you. You can do sports, you can play instruments, gardening, and all those things. Find a friend, build some Lego, and maybe you can even ask your mom to teach you how to repair your torn socks, or even to repair your torn clothes, because some boys and girls, when their clothes are torn, they take them to the skip and they throw them away when they're still okay. All you need to do is to ask mommy to help you to sew, or even daddy. Some daddies are the best dressmakers who can help you to sew, right? Now, we've got a doctor in the room, but before we ask the doctor, I've got some homework for you. Some things that you will need to go and do. Send your pictures to Pastor Dayan so that he can put them in our yearbook. Look at that. You need to plan a skit or play encouraging others to say no and perform it with your family for worship. So plan a skit yourself, and then you can encourage mommy and dad and your brothers and sisters to act that out for worship. And then maybe mommy can sign it in your worksheet for you. And then something you need to send to Pastor Dan is your design. I want to see your design, an anti-smoking poster or anti-drug or anti-alcohol slogan, painted and place it on your t-shirt that you're going to then walk out and wear it. Or you can create a poster or illustration showing the dangers of drug abuse. And another thing you need to do is to identify 2 famous people who are very good at what they do and tell us why they do not use alcohol or drugs. Or you can interview 2 healthy people who are really enjoying their life and living healthily without using any of these things, and ask them to tell you why they choose to live that way. Okay, and so I've got some examples of some of the posters that you can design. Some things like this. Look at that. Drugs end all your dreams. Say no to drugs. You know, tobacco, alcohol, drugs is all banned. Don't do it. Be smart. Don't start smoking or drinking or any of that. Some of those posters can look like that. Just say no. Run away from drugs or from anybody who's offering you alcohol or anything like that. And remember that drugs plus your body doesn't work together. Look at those teeth. Look at what happens to your lungs and to your brain. Okay, so those are some of the things that you can then design and send to Pastor Dayan. I'll stop sharing and I will show you one of the designs from my church, one of the children that designed something. Look, they designed a t-shirt and this logo and they painted on a t-shirt. So that's the t-shirt. Right, can you see it?
Oh, that looks lovely, Auntie. No drugs.
So you can wear that t-shirt and you can then share it with some of your friends. Now, let us go and see if the doctor is in the room. We've got a few minutes to ask the doctor some questions.
Amen.
Let us see if the doctor is here.
Okay, Auntie, we have Dr. Guti here. So Dr. Guti will ask you to unmute. And then we have some questions that have been put on Facebook, and we have some questions that have been put here. And so we want to pause those questions and ask them to Dr. Guti. But Auntie, do you want to say something before we start the questions, or shall we go ahead? Do you want to stop sharing your screen, Auntie?
Yeah, yes, I'll stop sharing. Okay?
Okay, so Dr. Guti, how are you?
I'm good, Pastor. How are you doing?
We are very fine and we're happy to have you. So we have a few minutes for the Pathfinder adventurers to bring their questions, which is part of the honor. So part of the honor says, ask the doctor. And so we're so pleased that you could join us, and may God bless you and your family. The first question I have for you, Dr.
Pastor.
Yes.
I know how much. I don't know how much time we have, but would you mind, before you ask the question, I'll just do a very super quick experiment, and then at the end of the questions, we'll see the results. Is that okay?
Oh, good. Okay. Shoot.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello, children. So I'm Dr. Guti. I work in hospital. So in hospital, we actually see those people who are poorly because of those things which people are telling you they are harmful to your body. So that's what I think Auntie Mtho was talking about, called temperance, which is avoiding those things which are harmful. One of the things which has been highlighted is alcohol. So, Pastor, please don't tell me off, but just for the sake of children, I thought I'll get a small bottle of alcohol so that I can do an experiment with the children. So, can you see what's written here?
Yes.
What does it say?
Alcohol.
Okay. And here?
Milk.
Yes. Okay.
So generally, the guys are muted.
Water. We are ready.
Water. Yeah, great. Okay. So we're just gonna do an experiment. You can see them here. So what I've got is, organs. They say they will affect organs like the brain, the heart, and one of the big organs affected is called the liver. And the liver is very important because that's the one which tries to get rid of all the harmful things, so-called toxins. So the harmful things. So which means because it's taking the harmful things, one of the things it will take is alcohol. So I've got liver, look. Yeah, you can see liver. Okay, so I'm going to quickly put liver. Let's open the packet, and then I'm going to put liver in there. Yeah, water. Let's put some liver in some milk. Yeah. And last but not least, let's put some liver in alcohol. So look at what I've got. I've got some nice milk. There you go. Nice soya milk. Let's put some milk in the milk. You see it says milk there. Yeah. So we put it aside. And then we get some nice water. Unfortunately, it's not from Scotland. It says Yorkshire. But there you go.
Oh.
Water.
No comment, Uncle.
I know the Scottish one is very good water.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you for sharing that.
But for today, we will use Yorkshire water. And then put it on the side. Ooh, last but not least, that's a harmful thing. That's alcoholic spirit, and it's called rum. The West Indies, they know it very well because it's a flavoring in most of the foods. So it's alcohol. So it's a type of alcohol. Let's pour some alcohol. Yeah, okay. So we'll give it a few minutes. So we're now going to go to answer your questions, Pastor Mthokozisim, and then we'll look at the results of these three containers, the effects of all those liquids on the liver.
Thank you very much.
We might have just questions for maybe 2 or 3 questions because of our time.
Okay, so Dr. Kuti, first question is, can you lose an addiction?
Right, so that's a tough one. So like Auntie Mtho has already said, addiction means you continue wanting to do something, you continue, and the continuing wanting thing is called craving. It's like it's a strong feeling saying, I want it again, I want it again. So that's why it becomes so difficult to get rid of it, because it's a strong craving, a very strong one. So it is very difficult. So some people, we have to then send them into what is called rehabilitation, where they go in a certain, let's say, building where they won't have any access to those things which are harmful. And then you try teaching them the good things then. That's one way of doing it. But this is the reason why God is already warning us, because he knows best that, those things are really harmful. Don't even try them. And so that's why people try to sometimes say, maybe I'll just taste. These are not things to taste at all. Go on and taste your broccoli. That's fine. It's not addictive. Don't even touch it. So it is hard. Yes, it can be done with God's grace and with your strong will given by God eventually, but it's a hard battle which you don't want to go into.
Oh, thank you, doctor. The next question is, can alcohol affect footballers? So we've got someone asking that question from our Facebook. Can alcohol affect footballers' performance?
So footballers, definitely. That's why you hear, we see these footballers on TV when they are playing and think that it's easy, it's just kicking a ball. Do you know those footballers are always on a diet which they have to stick to? Do you know they actually have almost like a curfew during the season of football? The curfew is so that they can avoid those harmful things. Because scientists already know that things like alcohol, they definitely slow down your performance. Have you ever seen someone drunk playing football? Of course not, because there's no way you play football. You start falling over and all that. So even when you get sober after drinking it, it means your body is already affected. It's not as active, not as agile as it should be. So definitely alcohol affects footballers, and footballers are even not allowed by their teams to get drunk all the time, and they actually get disciplined for getting drunk all the time, if they get drunk all the time.
Okay, well, thank you, doctor. And boys, some of you have put on more questions, and we are sure to try and answer them together with Dr. Guti on the chat. But now we want to get back to that experiment, Doctor.
Ooh, I can't wait. Pastor Love, I can't wait for my experiment to see, guys. Ooh. So, we still have our 3 things, right? So we're going to bring them now back here. Let's see. Okay. We still have our water, our milk, and our alcohol. So, which one shall I start? Why don't we see the milk first?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it. It's still red. Look, it's raw. Can you see? Let me cut it for you. Do you see it?
Yes.
The liver is still the same color. It's still same color. It still looks healthy. Okay, let's move on. So I'm going to get rid of this, yeah, which is the water one. Take it away. I've got a fresh plate now, and I can't wait to see the effects of water.
I'm not sure I understand. Is there something else I can help with?
So, with water, it's still red. Apart from just washing away the blood, it's still red. Look, it's still healthy. Oh, water, okay. Water hasn't damaged the liver at all. Ooh, let's see alcohol, guys. Come on. Guys, do you see what I'm seeing?
Ooh.
It's cooked. Can you see, guys? The alcohol has cooked the liver. Shall I eat it? Because it's cooked?
No.
No, yucky. I can't even touch, apart from the fact that there's alcohol. Whew. Now you see, Pastor and the adventurers. This is what alcohol does to your liver. It cooks it over time. The more you drink, the more it cooks it. The more you drink, the more it cooks it. And we said the liver is supposed to get rid of all those bad things in the body. So just in case you had any harmful things which you ate or drank, the liver gets rid of it. Now it cannot. So because it's not functioning, do you know what's going to happen to the body? Now I want you to talk to me quickly. I know we're running out of time, but what color do you think your eyes will become if you've got a damaged liver? Talk to me. What
Red.
color? Come on.
Red. Already got some answers there that have been typed in, Doctor.
Red. Okay, good answer, but not quite.
We encourage them to type it in.
They become yellow. Your eyes become yellow. If you are light-skinned, even the skin starts getting yellow just because of liver damage. Now, can you guess your wee? What color your wee will get if you've got liver damage?
Brown. Brown.
Well done. It will be very dark, like brown, dark urine. The last one, poo. Oh dear, it will affect poo as well. What color do you think your poo will be?
Black. Purple. Black or red.
Do you see now? That's what the liver does. It changes things to the opposite. Your poo becomes almost white. It becomes pale because of liver damage. And those people end up in hospital very, very poorly. And sometimes we don't even have things to reverse the effects of the damaged liver from alcohol, which is harmful. Sorry, back to you, Pastor.
Oh, thank you very much. And what remains is to really express our appreciation to you and to Auntie Mthogo for the great work that you have done and shared with us.